This is Valley News Live at 5.
We begin with breaking news. A body was found near the Red River this afternoon. At around 3:30, police, fire, and ambulance responded to a report of an unresponsive person. Authorities told us they discovered a body after a short search. Police also say this is an unattended death and it's not considered suspicious at this time. The body was found in a shelter area, and the exact circumstances surrounding the death have yet to be determined. The man accused of killing a Moorhead taxi driver Wednesday morning has now been charged. Willy Sparkman Jr. has been charged with conspiracy to commit aggravated robbery, attempted aggravated robbery, and second-degree murder in the death of Abdullahi Mohammed Abdullahi. Court documents say Sparkman and a juvenile female were trying to rob the taxi driver for rent money after two other robberies in Fargo earlier that evening. Sparkman told police he didn't mean to kill Abdullahi. A Wahpeton teacher is on administrative leave while the school district continues to investigate allegations that students were instructed to reenact the arrest and murder of George Floyd. We were the first to report on this, and now we're hearing from one of the women who brought the incident to school officials. She breaks down what students say unfolded in the classroom that day.
And then finally we had to get up and put our hands around our throats, squeeze, see if we could talk, breathe, and check our own pulse. Could we breathe?
It's a story you'll only see tonight on Valley News Live at 6. A Fargo student is suspended for bringing a BB gun to school today. The district says it happened at Carl Ben Eielson Middle School. A student told an administrator that someone brought a gun into the building. The school resource officer searched the student and found the unloaded BB pistol. They did not find any BBs or other form of ammunition. The district says no threats were made to students or staff and no one was hurt. We've got a beautiful day on our hands as we head into the weekend. Let's see what this evening looks like for everyone who wants to get outdoors this evening. Hutch?
Andrea, good evening. Hello, everyone. Temperatures are sneaking up towards 60 degrees. It's the best time of the day. Light winds, sunshine for all locations. It's cooler out towards Bemidji and Baudette, but the rest of us mid and upper 50s heading into your dinner hour. Crystal clear skies showing up on the satellite, the radar showing nothing in our area for now. Temperatures will sneak down into the 30s as we go through the overnight hours. Another cold night in store, Andrea, as we close out our work week on a quiet weather note. But for some, this weekend will be anything but quiet. And in fact, some measurable rainfall and significant rainfall, it could impact the drought for some of our counties, is on its way. I'll have hour-by-hour details on how that impacts your weekend ahead, including on all-important Mother's Day here in just a few minutes.
Okay, thanks, Hutch. The Bemidji Parks and Recreation Department has released surveillance video of people climbing on the Paul Bunyan statue, and it shows the moment his arm starts to break. You can see several people climbing and hanging from his arms, and then the concrete gives way, and one of the suspects falls to the ground. If you have information about the people in this video, contact Crime Stoppers of Minnesota at their website or call 1-800-222-TIPS. If information leads to an arrest, you could qualify for a $1,000 reward. A 1-year-old boy is dead following a house fire. It happened before 2 this morning in Reamer, Minnesota. Deputies responded to a duplex engulfed in flames. A woman was found in a bedroom and was rescued. Authorities say a woman and 3 children escaped before responders arrived. The cause has yet to be determined. A federal grand jury has indicted 4 former Minneapolis police officers involved in George Floyd's arrest and death. The 3-count indictment, unsealed today, alleges the officers violated Floyd's constitutional rights from unreasonable seizure and excessive force. It names Derek Chauvin, Thomas Lane, Jay King, and Tu Tao. Just a few weeks ago, Chauvin was convicted of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter for his role in George Floyd's death. An 8-hour hostage situation at a St. Cloud bank ended with the FBI storming the building and arresting the robber. He's now facing charges. 5 bank employees were held hostage until 10:30 last night. At one point during the evening, the suspect used one of the hostages' phones and their Facebook account to post a brief live-streamed video. The St. Cloud police chief named 35-year-old Ray McNeary as the suspect. In the initial 911 call, the bank manager said he was a disgruntled man who was upset about a previous transaction. The police chief also said McNeary has an extensive criminal history going back a decade. McNeary was supposed to be in court today. Turning to our coronavirus coverage. Across the country, communities are looking for new ways to get the word out and get shots in arms, pushing to reach President Biden's goal of 70% of American adults having at least one dose of the COVID vaccine by the 4th of July. Jay Gray has a look at the changing strategy and the push by one drug maker to remove the emergency status from its vaccine.
The fight against COVID is now clearly a ground war. Outreach teams going door to door in communities across the country, working to eliminate barriers to getting the vaccine.
Something as simple as not being able to register for an appointment because they don't have an email address, or just trust issues in general.
Businesses and restaurants offering incentives for vaccinated customers.
I thought it was just a great way to get people excited.
Stadiums and arenas becoming vaccination centers.
You're going to get your second dose.
A lot of teams offering free tickets to fans who roll up their sleeves.
We're just really kind of shifting our operations to bring vaccine to people as much as possible.
But even with the extended efforts, the number of people getting the shot is falling fast. So much that some states are saying no to new doses. Iowa declining 71% of vaccines reserved for the state.
Demand for vaccine in Iowa and nationwide is waning.
Pfizer is now seeking full approval of its vaccine. Doctors say removing the medicine's emergency status could ease concerns for some.
For a lot of Americans, I think this is the confidence that they need to go ahead and get the shot. So I do think it'll translate into more shots.
Jay Gray, NBC News.
The FDA approval process is expected to take several months. The first phase of ending COVID-19 restrictions in Minnesota is now in effect. Now there are no limits for outdoor dining events and other get-togethers. Bars and restaurants can also stay open later than 11 p.m. Meanwhile, health officials say that nearly 60% of the state's eligible population has gotten at least one vaccine dose. As part of the state's three-step timeline to ending the restrictions, the mask mandate will end once 70% of the eligible population has gotten at least one dose of the vaccine. Even if that doesn't happen, it will end on July 1st. You can find more information on our website, valleynewslive.com. Each quarter, employees from the health insurance company Medica rally to help people in need across the upper Midwest. This time, they chose Fargo Public Schools, and specifically, their donations are going to the Clara Barton Husky Hutch Pantry. This morning, the employees delivered boxes of food, sanitary products, and cleaning supplies to the school. If you have a child in Fargo Public Schools and want to access the food pantry, all you have to do is fill out a participation form on the school district's website. Students at Bennett Elementary School are celebrating a successful food donation drive in a fun and unique way. The school collected more than 500 cereal boxes and, as you can see, set them up for the Great Cereal Box Race today. The event was visual and a way for students to get a good look at their hard work.
Having the school get involved in something fun that's not just academic, but to celebrate the school and our community, I think they're pretty excited about it.
The donations that were collected will benefit the Great Plains Food Bank. The principal of North High School in Fargo Public Schools is the 2021 Administrator of the Year. Andy Dolan has been in the position for nearly 30 years. Those who nominated him described him as a champion of Fargo Public Schools and North High School. Teachers say that staff morale is extremely high at the school because of Dolan's leadership. He also inspires teachers to make a greater difference in their students' lives by encouraging them to work with students who are at risk.
I did not expect this award today, or for my career. I know we have a lot of deserving administrators in our district, and so I'm very honored and humbled by being selected.
Fargo Public Schools says Dolan is set to retire at the end of the school year. A new turf is in the works for Davies High School. The $1.3 million turf is being privately subsidized thanks to a group of parents who began fundraising in 2018. A groundbreaking ceremony for the new field will be held on Monday at 9 in the morning. Construction will begin on May 17th, and it should be finished by the end of July. A big hit to Peloton with the recall of its bikes, and now those who are hoping to buy one could be on hold for months. That's next.
Frigid temperatures to start your day today. Teens and 20s for most. Crystal clear skies is how we began the day, and it's how we end the day. Look at that moon. Your forecast does include some rain. I'll have hour-by-hour details on how it impacts your weekend right after this.